Hello Mousers, another day, another video. I want to start today by showing you this fantastic 80s style poster for the Firefly film. I just think it's really cool. It's a little bit sexist when the woman's kneeling by the man, but it's a pretty good sum up of the 80s movies. Now, to be honest with you, when I first saw it I thought, oh, Star Wars, but of course it's not. But that's not really what I want to talk about today. The first thing I want to talk about is this incredible news that GCHQ have apparently been spying on people using Yahoo's web video thing and their chat thing, and for some reason didn't realise that people used webcams for sex. Now, I want to start off by saying I am using that as a bit of a joke to ease the blow of the fact that the UK has been spying on people just as badly as the Americans have. We've been there looking at your webcam, looking at you masturbating, looking at you having intimate conversations with your loved ones. Got all kinds of images from these webcams apparently. This is ridiculous. What on earth were they thinking? Were terrorists taking webcam videos and webcam pictures of one another while talking about their dastardly plans? Of course they're not. But they're looking at them anyway because, oh my goodness, people might be having fun or doing something that we don't know about. Oh my goodness, we've got to spy on them. 2 million people have spied on, and all they found out is apparently some people like to use the internet for having sex or showing porn to one another, which really shouldn't be news to anyone, because the first thing that happens when the government announces that people are using the internet for porn is the internet goes, well duh, it's the internet. So, but violating privacy, and they say, oh, totally above board, it's got to be fair and necessary and legal, and we got permission and this, that and the other. No you didn't, come on. We all know you didn't. So stop lying, apologise for doing something that you shouldn't have, and let's move on. Now, taking our own advice and moving on, what I want to talk about now is this terrible news that Rome may go bankrupt for the first time since 64 AD. Now, for those of you who weren't around back then, because I'm pretty sure none of us were around back then, and if you were, what's your secret? Nero in 64 AD allowed Rome to burn. Now, the tradition is that he fiddled while Rome burned, but the violin was invented in the medieval era, so what he actually probably did was play his lute, because he liked to play his lute. He thought he was very good, he wasn't. But Rome burned, and huge amounts of the city burned down, the Great Fire of Rome it's called, and it was a horrible catastrophe, which Nero didn't do an awful lot to stop, but he did pay for a lot of funerals, so yay. But of course it's been so long since it happened that we'll never actually know what happened and why. But suffice to say, a lot of Rome burnt down. And that's one of the biggest problems that Rome has faced in millennia, and that's taking into account the fact that a few hundred years later, the Goths turned up and sacked the entire place. So you can imagine that this is pretty high up on the scale of really bad things that have happened to Rome. So bankruptcy, this is terrible. Apparently there is only 10% of the money needed to pay for the petrol to run the buses next month in Rome. So that's not even thinking about the wages of the people that are going to be driving them or anything else. 10% of the money. They have no money to run this city anymore. And apparently a bunch of politicians decided that, no, we're not going to allow through this bill that will save Rome. You've just got to sort it out yourselves. How? You've just stopped their main lifeline. What do you do? In this situation, what does this new mayor, who's only been in the job a week, do? Because from my point of view, if that was my situation, I'd be reloading SimCity from the start. Because that, you can't go on. Oh, you get the cheat code out, but he can't. This is real life. What did he do? He just had his main lifeline cut off. What do you do now? You've got to shut down the buses. You've got to shut down public services. You've got to make massive cuts, and that's going to hurt an awful lot of people. And remember, this is coming up to tourist season, so they've got a lot of problems going on now. And the situation really is really grim. He's going to need a bailout of some sort. But where'd you get it from? The main lifeline of money from the Italian government, it's not there. They've blocked it. Does he go to Europe and ask for that? Because the rest of Europe's going to go, well, we haven't got an awful lot of money either. We're trying to hold on as best we can. We can't keep bailing out everyone. So what do? Answers on a postcard, please. Because no one seems to know. So to be honest with you, I'm going to watch and see what happens with this one, and I'll bring you any news that comes out, because this is a major problem. A major capital city in Europe is going to go bankrupt within a week or two, and that is not good news for anyone. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you did like this. And if you did, remember to click the like button, share it with your friends so that they can see what's been going on in the world as well. And do subscribe for future videos because there will be more in the future. But until next time, I've been Zoe Kirk-Robinson. You've been watching The Knob Mouse Show, and I'll see you tomorrow.